All my favorite songs are slow and sad. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Welcome to the Sad Song Queens podcast, where we dive deep into the songs that make us cry. I'm Laura Webb.
And I'm Lindsay Wolfington.
Today, we are talking with Sam Beam of Iron and Wine about his song, Naked as We Came.
Sam Beam is a singer-songwriter and the mastermind behind the indie folk project Iron and Wine, which helped define folk music in the early 2000s. Raised in South Carolina and trained in visual art and film, Sam began his career recording demos in his bedroom, which eventually made their way to Sub Pop Records, launching a career that has continually evolved over more than 2 decades.
His music has been featured in several iconic movies and TV shows, including Twilight, Garden State, One Tree Hill, and Grey's Anatomy, introducing his songwriting to an even larger audience.
Sam recorded his 8th studio album, Hen's Teeth, in the same session as his 2024 album, Light Verse. The albums are siblings of sorts and reflect a renewed creative and collaborative spontaneity.
Iron and Wine's music is so gorgeous and melancholy. We had a healthy debate amongst the team of which song to choose, both old and new, and ultimately,
we decided on a throwback song from 2004, and we'll be discussing Naked as We Came.
So grab those tissues and let's get into it, because we all need a good cry.
And now, Iron and Wine, Naked as We Came.
She says, wake up, it's no use pretending. I'll keep stealing, breathing her. Birds are leaving over autumn's ending. One of us will die inside these arms. Eyes wide open. As we came, one will spread our ashes round the yard. She says, if I leave before you, darling, don't you waste me in the ground. I lay smiling like our sleeping children. One of us will die inside these arms. Eyes wide open. Naked as we came. One will spread our ashes round the yard.
Welcome, Sam.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How long have you heard that version?
Or how long since you've
Yeah.
heard that
I was
version?
just
Yeah.
thinking the exact same thing. It's been a long time. I haven't listened to that in a very long time.
We're
Yeah,
always
it's really
we
interesting.
force people to come in here and
Yeah.
listen to their own music.
Yeah.
Yeah, mercifully, it's very short. No, it was fun to hear. They're all like little time capsules.
Right.
Yeah, I was just thinking like, who was that wrote that song?
Like,
It's
hey, you
interesting.
did pretty good.
Well, it's just funny, the choices that you make along the way, and that you hear something like that that I would, definitely do differently now,
Mhm.
or just whether it was like a word here or there, or like just sonically how it was recorded. It's
Yeah.
just funny. They're like, often talk about them like high school pictures.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where
Right.
they're there.
Yes.
You don't have any control over it anymore, but you got to like figure out how to,
Yeah.
settle yourself with it.
Right.
And I think they're fun.
Yeah.
I love time capsules.
Do you usually, like, once you're done, you kind of just, like, don't go back and listen? Because I know you're
Yeah.
performing them, but
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're making a record, you listen to them so many times that you're just desperate to get away.
Right,
Yeah.
totally.
And usually working on something else, looking around the corner than
Right,
seeing what's next.
Right.
Which is much more fun.
right.
When you say, like, you think, oh, maybe you would have recorded it differently, what are you picking up on?
I mean, just silly things,
Yeah.
like, wow, it's interesting. You did the exact same number of passes to, just like things I would have cut to the chase. It might be shorter now. I think it
Oh,
would
in
be
terms of like
shorter.
the
Yeah.
intro and the
And
outro?
some of the
Yeah.
ambiances were shifting and stuff. Just it's
Yeah.
it's a funny thing.
I always hear something additional when we listen in this room just because the speakers are so much
Yeah,
better
that's
than at home.
That's the thing
I
too.
didn't notice the female vocal on top
Oh
of you.
yeah, that's
Who
my
is that?
sister.
Wait,
That's-
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Sarah. She used to sing with me a bunch. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And now
Yeah,
your
yeah.
daughters are singing with you.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
yeah.
daughter is
Yeah,
singing with
one of
you?
them sings
Yeah.
on this one. Yeah, for sure.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Grace
Yeah, it's very
Notes
fun.
from the new album was one of
I
our
really,
healthy
really
debate
Oh,
of what to
thanks.
pick. But yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sad, I guess. I just never think of them like as particularly sad. Maybe stoic or somber. It's like a mood, but not necessarily like a tragic. Like this one, yeah, you can call it sad because it's talking about the inevitability of of everyone passes away
Yeah.
and just we're sort of locked in this romantic idea of like it's so great but it's going to end and that's what makes it great and all these things like that.
Right.
So but I don't know, I don't see it as sad.
No?
This
Yeah.
song? This
Yeah.
song. Yeah.
I guess, but I think it's just
Yeah.
like your personal definition of what sad
Yeah.
is. It feels somber for sure.
We went back and forth. So
Yeah.
Laura, I'll let you start.
Yeah, I feel sad.
Yeah.
But I also think what's sad about it is it feels very like a very pure love.
Yeah.
And I think that, of course, our job is like audiovisual. I'm like, when you're saying laying in bed with your arms around, I almost picture like, the couples in Pompeii when you
Yeah.
see them and they're like, they died in each other's
Totally,
arms. Like that's
totally.
where I go.
Yeah.
And I think
You are
that's
romantic, aren't you?
Yeah.
Look at her. Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's actually really beautiful.
Yeah.
That makes you tear up because sometimes beauty makes you tear up, right?
Oh,
Where
yeah,
you're
of
something
course.
so beautiful that you're like, I don't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
understand.
Yeah. I find
Yeah.
I tear up with beauty more often
Yeah.
than other things.
Yeah.
Because with tragedy, you're kind of like figuring out how to deal with it.
Right.
Right.
Whereas beauty just sort of overwhelms you.
Yeah.
Like for whatever
Yeah. And
reason.
you're like orchestral music where you're just
Totally.
like, oh,
Yeah.
like
Music
the
gets me.
wonder. Yeah.
Yeah. Music like
Yeah.
that gets me big. Because concert singing, like especially, honestly, music without words gets me more often than,
Yes.
because you're processing stuff in a different way.
Mhm.
When the songs have words, but just to feel like the emotional quality or content of the music, like just the way it makes your body move.
Vibrate or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
totally.
really magic. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the coolest things about music in general.
Yeah.
Very true. It's really
Well,
true.
it's interesting because I think if this song didn't have all its lyrics, it's quite warm and loving.
That's the thing. It's,
right?
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's so
right.
it's
Yeah.
like a sedative.
Right.
Yeah, I do feel very calm
Yeah.
listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was my
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
We had discussed doing this one, and I was like, okay, because the lyrics are sad. And then
Yeah.
as I was going into my theory, I listened to it again, and I was like, oh, Laura, this song is not sad for me. I think it's like, it's the song that could make you cry out of happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think it's so sweet. To me, it's the warm feeling of being in the arms of someone you love and like
Right.
pretending you're asleep to stay there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
Totally.
keep stealing, breathing her. I love that line. And then obviously the sadness is the thinking of one day one of us will die in these arms.
Yeah.
But I do, the instrumental part of it is so warm. It feels like a hug to me.
Right. Yeah. It's
Mhm.
meditative and just sort of, still.
Is that on nylon
flows.
guitar strings? We love
I don't think so, but it's definitely, it has like you can also take a steel string guitar and sort of roll a high end off of it.
Okay.
Like honestly, I was listening to some podcast with Brian Eno talking about how he took like drums, and the minute that you roll all the high end off of it, it just feels like a warm,
Hmm.
gurgling
Oh,
stream.
interesting.
Huh.
It just
Yeah.
the high end is what makes the staccato feel. So you can take. I mean, there's some steel string guitars that have a warm tone anyway, and depending on what kind of strings you
Right.
use and stuff. But there's little, yeah. I think I was working with Brian Deck in those days. Actually, this is the first record I ever made in a studio, so I
Oh,
was learning a lot
Oh,
at the
wow.
time.
the others were
And
all bedroom recordings?
yeah, this
Yeah.
is the first record, yeah, that I ever used. And it was really difficult just adjusting because I've been recording at my house for a long time and
Right.
sort of understood what I was doing. I guess I was really into control because it was very
That's okay.
upsetting.
You were
But it
doing
was,
something right.
but I was excited about it and learning and wanting to push into something different. But there's definitely ways that you can roll off the high end and make steel string guitars sound roughly like a nylon, but the nylons have their own.
I know. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, it turns out without knowing, and then someone's like, "Oh yeah, that was nylon string." I'm like, okay.
All her
I'm
favorite
always,
songs that
yeah,
have that.
yeah, without knowing, because I don't come from the technical side. I'm feeling, but I
Yeah.
do think that the conversation, like presumably you and your wife are having about like who would go first, how would you go? I mean, that's sad. I mean, it's
It is
an
for
important
sure. Yeah.
conversation to have, but it's sad thinking,
Yeah. Not for
Do
me.
you want to be
No.
buried? Do you want to be cremated? Like that whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
songs that or conversations that you have, or you don't. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a lot of people avoid it.
Yeah, that's true.
But you start having kids and you start thinking about these things. It's also just kind of a spot I like to work from as a writer. As far as you have this scene that you're talking about, describing things here and there that details or where they were or what they were talking about, and then you kind of back up a little bit and you realize, okay, so what else are we talking about? We're talking about, oh, they have children, and so you're talking about these kinds of relationships, and also like the birds are leaving. Include all these, like, just back up a little bit instead of like just sitting in this conversation what they're talking about. You do those details, but then you back up and talk about other things around, like the birds leaving or the children, like they all suggest this passing of time, or like, things coming and going, new things leaving or dying, like, and you just put them all in a pot and stir them up and see what happens. That's
I mean, is
what you're
that
trying to
kind
do.
of talk to us a little bit about what you remember about writing the song?
Not much. I remember sitting in the backyard,
You're like,
working on
I don't know who wrote this.
honestly, I mean, at this point, I kind of don't. I mean, I remember details, but I'm not sure what made me think about writing this song. I mean, there's definitely like parts of my life and then parts of fiction, that it's always a big mix of all those things. But I didn't like sit down and like, what, I'm going to write a song about mortality and what it means to me and how it fits into this relationship. You just land there. A lot of it is just fooling around with the guitar, singing gibberish, just scatting nonsense, and then a word pops up, and then all of a sudden you start to put other words around it. It's a ridiculous process. It's really fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just reaching around in the dark, in the fog, just trying to find a hook to hang your hat on.
Right.
But I would never have sat down and think, this is what I'm going to write a song about. Because it's more like you would think about different things, like points of an essay that you wanted to touch on, But it's not that. It's like just a meditation on this moment. And I don't know what phrase came up first. I can't remember. Maybe eyes wide open or something.
Right, yeah.
And I
Always a good
was
phrase.
thinking about, seeing something clearly, but also, someone, it's always, it's strange to see, we always think of the dead with their eyes closed, but, not all, it's always very unsettling to see them with their eyes open.
I mean, and isn't that like technically how a lot of people
I would guess
die
so.
with their eyes open?
I think so.
I would think so.
Well, so speaking of
Yeah.
death, which we just got touched on, but you said it's not really sad to you. I know, sorry, we just went there.
Yeah.
Look at me going like,
Yeah.
what is happening right now?
Yeah, I know.
And none of us have any idea.
Yeah.
But you mentioned kind of like that talking about dying wasn't sad to you or isn't sad to you.
I mean, it depends on who's dying.
So true.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, I like being alive. But the idea of dying is not something I like to dwell on,
Right.
but it doesn't scare me. I don't like pain,
Right.
but, I don't remember where I was before I was born,
Right.
and I've, had a couple more I was sick. I got, like a year ago or something, I got, like a stomach bug or something and passed out.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay now.
No,
No,
I know.
it's
But
scary.
yeah, but when things
Yeah.
you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
But my point is, and you would just wake up, like, you remember, like, a moment before, and then you wake up and you're somewhere else, like, an hour later or something, you're like, "Wow," so that would if something happened when you died, it would just be over. You wouldn't think about it at
Right.
all. You wouldn't be sad about dying or anything. It was just that was
Right.
it.
Hopefully it's that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's not
Well, you
always.
know what I
but
mean? I don't
yeah.
like pain or I don't wanna, like, suffer or anything,
No.
Right.
but the dying part, it doesn't make me sad. It's just sort of part of our story.
Right.
And what it does is, give meaning and perspective to the rest of it.
Yeah.
The stuff that comes before.
Sure.
Don't cry.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not going
Yeah.
to. I know, I have it. I have it. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm like, let's think about death. Let's sit here and contemplate it. Yeah.
Oh, well.
But as a storyteller, you have the beginning, you have the middle, and you have the end. I mean, it's like just part of every story, whether the
Mhm.
characters die or something, you think of the story in
Mhm.
terms of those points.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes it gets a little more specific and on the nose with death
Right.
Yeah,
or not.
for sure. You talk about you kind of like stumble your way into lyrics like on a song
Yeah.
like this, but then your new
Yeah.
album and the
Yeah.
last album were super collaborative. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Oh, collaborative in the
Like you
sense
worked
that
with
they
other
were
people, like was the writing process you were in there with them at the
Oh, yeah.
moment?
I always come in with a finished set of lyrics.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
as far as, like, how the song and the arrangement and how it's presented, I always just think of the song lyrics as a script.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you can interpret a script with a lot of, very differently with the different groups
Sure,
of
yeah.
actors and different technicians. And so to me, it's very similar. And I'd like to bring people, I don't want to bring in people to tell them what to play. I want them, like you would an actor, to bring their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then again, like we said before, like put it in the pot and stir it up and see
Yeah.
what comes out.
Super
That's
fun.
fun. Do you tend to be more melody first or lyrics first?
Definitely melody first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been able to do the lyric thing first. I don't know why. I definitely know a lot of people who do and do it very successfully.
Mhm.
But to me, yeah, it's a song. It should, like, the melody tells you what to say almost, or when you're playing with irony or, it just, it's the starting point for me.
You're talking about walking into a session with lyrics like a script. That's what you studied, right? You went to
Yeah.
film and art school?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trip.
That makes
It's
sense.
just to come, and then have, be able to contribute to movies and stuff with your music and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
I think people might refer to you as what we sometimes call like a sync darling. You've had a ton of success having placements. How does that feel? Like, what do you think of
Well, I
that?
don't ever get placed in the party scene.
Yeah. Although it's funny, I worked on One Tree Hill and we used a song of yours. I'm blanking on the title, but it was pretty upbeat and it was like in a car and then like some other conversation.
Yeah.
We also used He Lays in the Rains with
Oh, right.
Calexico, which that song
Oh,
is
thanks.
so amazing.
Thanks
We
for
even
that.
put it on one of our soundtracks because it was like,
Oh, that's
here's
awesome.
a list of our favorite songs we
That's
used this
awesome.
season.
They're
So,
the best. I love those
yeah.
boys.
Aw.
When you have a band like Calexico with you, like it's
That's
so
the thing.
full and takes
Yeah.
it to a different
Mm.
They're
level.
like an incredible, ensemble of actors,
Yeah.
that do their thing. They have this sound that you can react to, and I can shift lyrics around to work with their established thing. It's
Yeah.
like they're so good.
Yeah.
It's a real treat as a writer.
But so a new goal is to get an Iron and Wine song in a party scene.
All right, we're going to
All
think
right.
on
Yeah,
this.
music supervisors. That is your
Definitely, yeah.
assignment.
I
It's a
was talking
challenge.
to another supervisor, Andrea, and I was saying that we were recording with you today, and she's like, "Oh, you have to tell him I laughed so hard. You played Sunset Sessions, one of
Oh,
those for
yeah.
a bunch of us supervisors. I
yeah.
don't think I was there that year. Maybe you were,
Mhm.
but you started, and she's like, I giggle all the time thinking about it. You were like, "Are you ready to fucking get mellow?" And she was giggling so hard. She was like,
Yeah. You gotta be self-aware. It's
No,
helpful.
it's great. Yeah. Well, people keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Did you feel like you got pegged in like a quiet music
Oh,
spot?
I mean, peg, but I mean, it's great. I love it when it gets used. That's
Mhm.
what I mean. You have to be self-aware. It's not like
Right.
party music.
Right.
It's contemplative, and so for those scenes, it's great.
I mean, those are the fun scenes to find songs
know.
for anyway.
They
Yeah,
really
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
The
Like
juicy
party,
stuff.
it's fun, but
Yeah.
like there's I forget the exact stats, but there's this book called Bittersweet,
Oh yeah.
and it's about this woman, Susan Cain, writes it, and it's about melancholy music is how she started it, and then it
Yeah.
devolved into way more. But it was something like people listen to happy songs, I don't know, like 175 times, where they go to their sad songs 900 times.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
a statistic.
So
I know. I
there-
might have gotten
There's
it
sad
slightly
song
wrong.
queens everywhere.
Yeah, there
Yes.
are. And our sad song king.
Totally.
That is like, it's true.
Incredible.
I go back to the sad songs. So.
Yeah, it definitely suits a personality. If you're into that kind of a thing. A lot of
Mhm.
people we all have people in our life who are like, it's too sad. I don't want to deal with that.
Mhm.
Right.
And they like upbeat music. But for the folks who like conflict and like to feel and talk about emotions.
Yeah.
You're here.
I was talking to a friend today too who said this song, Naked as We Came, is on her son's go to bed playlist.
Oh, wow.
It's like a settling down, right? Like it's very
Yeah.
calming. I think that's something
is,
that like
yeah.
acoustic music is
I've-
really good for.
Yeah, I've had quite a few people tell me that, they feel like they owe me for putting their children to sleep for years. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'll take that babysitting money.
You should partner with the Calm app. man.
Yeah.
Get it to work
Have they
for you.
reached out? Has Calm reached
Yeah,
out?
yeah. No, you
too.
got a
Get on it.
connection.
Get
Yeah,
on it,
tell 'em.
Calm.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the new album, Grace Notes was my runner-up for
Oh,
sad
thanks.
song
Thank
to talk
you.
about today.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so pretty. I love that it kind of like builds and builds and
Yeah.
and your daughter sings on it.
She does, yeah. Arden, she's got a great voice.
So
yeah.
is she following in your footsteps, and how do you feel about
We'll
that?
see. I mean, I'm excited. I love it. She's very shy. She's not really, she hasn't been jumping in,
Mm-hmm.
but she was definitely game to like come and do it. I know that she's worked on some songs and stuff, but she's also a visual artist, and
Oh.
sometimes it's hard to choose.
You think she'll come on tour with this album?
No,
she's still in
she's told me
school?
very explicitly that she doesn't want to do that. But she does come and sell T-shirts for me sometimes.
Oh,
Aw.
and people have no clue that's your daughter
No, I mean, several of my daughters have done it over the years. Yeah, they love it.
because you have 5 daughters, right?
I
4.
do, yeah.
Or 4, 5, yeah.
5, yeah.
Ben has 4, right? Ben
And
Bridwell.
Ben Bridwell.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
And you're
trying
both
to
from
catch
Irmo.
up, but
And we're like, what was
know.
in the water in Irmo, South Carolina? Like,
I don't know. I'm not sure.
does everybody have daughters there? Or just you two?
I don't know. There was apparently some kind of, energy, male or female, that needed to be
Yeah.
evened out in the universe.
What's it like to be dad to 5 girls?
Oh, because this is a public thing, it's incredible.
Yeah.
What's
And then
the-
when it's
yeah.
private,
Yeah.
it's a little less.
Yeah,
No, just
yeah.
kidding.
But yeah, they travel with me sometimes, and yeah, sometimes on tour they make more money than me. It's incredible.
Amazing.
They like to
Will
remind me.
they, if Arden is a visual artist, will they do some of your merch? Will they? Have
She
they
has
project-
done
She
merch
has?
before, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's one, with like a woman in the water. She's reaching up, and there's a bird. Sounds like
cool.
sounds like an Iron and Wine shirt, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Yes,
does.
it really does. Totally.
Because you designed most of your album covers, didn't you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a
That's
lot
really
of
cool.
them. Yeah, I went to an art school, and so it's a fun way to keep control.
Did you do Art Hen's Teeth as well?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I did that one.
I like that one.
And a lot of my girls helped me with that one. I have a little art space, mess making space. So we built the thing, and then they took the picture. And my oldest daughter, Ruth, is a makeup artist in New
Oh, wow.
York, and so she came and did all the makeup and glued feathers to my eyes.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Does she
Yeah.
do your makeup before you go on stage?
She would if I asked her to. She loves it. She's very talented.
You mentioned at one point liking doing collaborations and duets.
Yeah.
I think ever since you worked with Jessica Hoop.
Duets are the best. Yeah.
Awesome. So who would be your dream duet partner?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, between Hoop and Fiona Apple, I'm not sure there's a lot of people left. Now there's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many. Working on doing some stuff with Madison Cunningham. She's so
Oh,
talented.
uh-huh.
I mean, there's just so many. That's the thing about it. There's not like I don't really have like a perfect foil in mind. It's just like texturally the voices sound different, and it just makes so it could work in a lot of different ways. Whether they sound a lot like me or like the contrast is what makes it interesting. Um, I just love the way it works dramatically. All of a sudden it moves from being a monologue to like this thing where subtext is introduced, because you
Mhm.
don't know if they're actually telling the truth to one another or or
Right.
you have these two perspectives about the same topic
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and you can go a lot of different ways, a lot of different directions. It's so fun to write for.
And have most of your duets, did you write the whole thing or did you collaborate on songwriting too?
The one with Hoop, we both wrote those
Okay,
songs,
cool.
yeah, but the rest I've written myself.
And then
Yeah.
you're like, this person would sound amazing, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool.
Or they're available.
Right.
I mean,
we all
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, we know that. Well, so I found it interesting because we sat down with Rishikesh Hirway on
Yeah,
Friday,
Rishi.
and he was talking about stray dogs,
Right.
and he said how you gave him some writing exercises.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that something you apply to yourself too?
Oh, yeah,
The kind of
sometimes.
advice you give
Yeah,
him?
if you're stuck, you just gotta think of I mean, he called me he had, like, a session coming up, uh, and he was just looking for a prompt, something to,
Mm-hmm.
get him thinking outside of what he would normally write about, and I can't remember what I said, but something about dogs. Be a dog.
Yeah.
Think about,
Or like
you're
from the
running
dog's perspective or
Yeah,
something. I think
just
he's-
switch
yeah.
around,
Yeah.
just like I was talking about before, you try to like back up a little bit, you start somewhere instead of like boring yourself and beating a dead horse on the same topic, you
Mhm.
back up and talk about it from a side view or someone else's perspective in the same room or same space or different time or you just think of different ways to address whatever you're interested in talking about. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, I've always feel like the minute like you get on a line of something, you figure out what you want to say, then the whole job is to, like get away from it. It's a funny.
To zoom
It's a
out and get some
yeah,
perspective on it.
it's a
Yeah.
funny little trap you get in that you're always trying to wiggle out from underneath your own song.
It's a good life lesson too.
Yeah.
Like zoom out. We're just little ants here.
I know. That always makes me feel better if I'm like, when you're like feeling pressure or overwhelmed in a moment and then you're like, wait, it's not just, I'm just an ant. Like if you were in space, like you can't even see me. Like
That's
I'm
right.
not actually that important.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
We'll
To
take
tell
that
your
into
teenage
songwriting.
daughters.
Yes, for real.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love hearing that from me.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Do they come to you for advice?
Because it's a public thing, I'm gonna say yes very often. I'm only incredibly good at dispensing.
So much wisdom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Especially what
Constantly.
outfit to wear. And,
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
yeah.
And they're just constantly. I'm like, girls, leave me alone. I have things to do.
Do you ever get writer's block?
Well, yeah, it just depends on what you mean by that. I think it's I think it's a trap people think of like, oh, well, I have writer's block, so I can't.
Oh, like it's
There's-
almost an excuse or
Kind of, I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it also depends on how much you expect to produce.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm under a pressure to like a journalist or something to like produce like a certain amount of words.
Right.
And so usually just means if I'm stuck on something, it means a lot of times in songwriting you get in the what I call the rhyming game, which is a real drag.
Yeah, Rob over there has the book of rhymes.
Yeah, I know. I know. Sometimes it gets you out of a jam and it makes the thing sound more sing-songy, which is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times you're just trying to put two rhymes together and it's lame. So you're like, okay, so the rhyme is wrong, and so I just need to back up and try something else. Or you just need to go outside for a sec, do
Yeah.
something else and come back.
Step away.
Yeah.
Totally.
But I don't really have an expectation from a song. I definitely know when it's not really working or it's not making me happy or something along those lines. But there's no way that it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And so you're just sort of trying to wait until something tells you. It's really like you're just being impatient. If you think you have writer's block, you think you're just being impatient.
Yeah.
And I'm not impatient.
I mean,
today.
I love this. I think we could all use a little more Sam Beam energy in our life.
Yeah.
Of like, let's stop
Back
putting pressure
up.
on yourself. It'll
Back
come when
up.
it's ready.
Just go
Yeah.
take a
Back up.
walk.
Get some
Yeah.
Just
perspective.
back up.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. I'm like, I like this. Do you ever write to brief? Have people reached out for like
Yeah.
film and TV? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd feel like you'd be good at it.
It's interesting. Yeah, I've been working on a Broadway thing lately.
really?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
with my buddy Lindsay Ferrantino, and yeah, it's really interesting because I find most of the time with songwriting, with the stuff we're talking about, like getting stuck, is mostly about trying to find what you're writing about. Whereas this one, like you said, they tell you, and you just go to town. It's really fun.
Yeah, I know. It's because some artists like it, and it helps them keep like, okay, I don't have to go to the sandbox. I can stay in the
Right.
sandbox. And some, it's like, nah, I don't want to play. I want to do my own.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand that feeling. But it's also about fear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's about like just knowing that I do this well and I don't want to try something else. But I find it more rewarded when you get uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not like it's gonna.
Yeah. Challenge yourself.
Yeah, you want to try something new, and so I think it's a lot more fun. And I also have a body of work where I'm like I did those things, and now I can try these things because if I do this musical and it fails, it doesn't mean that those other songs didn't work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not quite the same as like someone who's coming trying to start something and has all their future reputation maybe relying on what they do. And I
Right.
mean, I can
Freedom
see
in it.
they would get hung up and afraid of. But I really like it. I don't know. I think it's cool.
I was gonna say, like normally you think of musicals and you're like da 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 da, which isn't necessarily what you think when you listen to
never
Iron
yet.
and Wine. So
Not
I know,
yet.
I'm curious.
Not yet.
Yeah.
are
Hey.
you writing more acoustic
There's
stuff
some-
for it, or are you
yeah, a bit of-
stepping out and
a
doing
bit
some
of-
jazz hands?
Yeah, my jazz hands. I have jazz hands.
We all do.
Yeah, it's a bit of all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, when I was approached, I was like, I don't know if I'm equipped for the. I'm not sure this is what you want, but yeah, there's a lot of different types of musicals now. I mean, you use lots of different types of music, and so it's a bit of both. They came to me for what I do, but also there's other parts of it that call for other things, and I'm happy to try. That's the thing is, it's music. It's not math.
Right.
There's
Thank God. Never good at that.
yeah, me neither. Math sucks. You just try, and if people don't like it, they can always hire someone else.
Right.
But
So they come to you with the story, like this is the story about, or they're
Yeah.
kind of still developing it.
yeah. It's fun.
Cool.
It's fun.
We had Ingrid Michaelson here,
Oh yeah.
and she wrote the music for The Notebook, the adaptation for the stage.
Wow.
And she said it took like, I don't know, 7-10 years or something.
They take so long. Yeah.
What year are you into it now?
I'm in month 7 or 8.
Oh, okay. So you're just the infant. in
yeah,
it.
no, we're just getting started. But yeah, they typically take about five
Okay.
years. Doesn't mean that you're like constantly writing.
Right.
It also depends, on how it goes. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
People demand rewrites and stuff. I know Nico Case has been working on Thelma and Louise. the musical.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
Yeah. And
What a neat idea. Like
Yeah.
for Nico too. Like that's
I
cool.
know it's perfect. And I've
Yeah.
heard some, it's incredible. But I also know there's a lot of rewrites on that one too. But
Mhm.
we'll see.
That Thelma and Louise soundtrack was one of my favorite soundtracks, like as a teenager.
Mhm.
I think it's Marianne Faithfull, The Ballad of Lucy Jordan feels like
Yeah.
it's like right on. I'm like, can they put that in the musical too? We were just talking about
Maybe.
jukebox musicals and how complicated music rights can be for that stuff. So
Yeah.
better to
Yeah.
call somebody for something original.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Man.
I can only imagine how much needle threading you guys do. It's insane.
Yeah, most of the job
Don't
is
cry.
that.
You need to
No,
clean up.
I know. I'm like, yeah. certain when they say, let's clear this song, you're like, no, we'll try.
You try to warn them.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, because half the time our job is really to make other people's dreams come true
Yep.
in a way, right? To either find them the perfect song or get them the song that they are already in love with or inspired this project or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally.
But that's not an easy load to bear sometimes. But
Yeah.
when it is like a Hail Mary, you're kind of like, I will try, but we should have a backup. I think
Yeah.
that's like,
There
An
you go.
Iron and Wine song.
There you go. Yeah,
Yes,
but we have all these
exactly.
Iron and Wine
Yeah,
songs just
exactly.
in case.
Do you
right.
feel like you ever want to try composing? I feel like your music.
Composing,
Yeah.
like a score?
Like, yeah.
I've done some of that stuff
Mhm.
for, like, some documentaries and
Uh-huh.
stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm posing a little bit because I don't really, like, read music. I just kinda
There's
play
all
by ear.
types. Yeah.
Yeah, there's all types,
Yeah.
but, I've definitely got in situations where I had overpromised because there's also a lot of technical,
And
just the way
deadlines yeah.
that producers use and composers use that I am not equipped. But, I love working with them. It's incredible. Yeah, more often than not, the more successful ones where I'm working with a composer,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I think that goes well too.
Yeah.
Because they can like translate
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
and
Totally,
exactly.
totally.
And that seems to go well. Usually.
Yeah.
But sometimes
It's
you're
very
looking
fun.
for that. Like, I feel like
Unique.
Laura and I both end up working on a lot of projects where your showrunner director loves songs anyway, so they
Yeah.
would be happy temping something with like instrumentals from bands left and right. So
Totally.
we're working on projects that want a score that sounds like the instrumental of a song.
Totally.
Not just
And
the
I would
traditional.
imagine that's
Yeah.
when you call
Yeah.
someone like you.
Yeah.
Totally.
I know you're going to tell us some of your sad songs, but we touched on a little bit in the beginning about whether this song is sad or not. What do you think makes a song sad?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's a malleable thing, isn't it?
You
Depends
have
on
no
who's
hard
listening.
answers, do you?
Yeah.
Other than that your daughters are
Yeah.
not going to become singers.
Well, I told you,
I'm just
I don't
kidding.
like
Yeah.
math. I mean, I'm still not sure that she will or not. She seems to think not, but we'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm in this biz,
Mm-hmm.
because there's no right or wrong
No right
answers.
answer, yeah.
Yeah, a sad song. It depends on who's listening, who's
Mm-hmm.
there's definitely songs about relationships, songs or like we were talking mortality, songs that, make you feel just sad because life can be very sweet and you don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want the party to end,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's lots of just depressing songs. Like the situation is just awful.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. And then, there's also, devastating ecological concerns that people like to write about. There's all kinds of depends on what you think is sad.
Yeah.
Do you put on sad songs like to feel things, or are you kind of you don't, or you go and then write them yourself? Or?
Yeah, a bit of all those.
Yeah.
I definitely don't look to music as like a utilitarian kind of, I'm going to put this on to make me feel sad or, but there's definitely, I like a moody song for sure. I mean, that's where all the, like we were saying, the juicy, the conflict and stuff. So, it's where the stories are at.
What do you think of your songs is your saddest song?
Ooh.
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. There's a song on a record called Light Verse called Taken by Surprise, which is sad, or it's definitely moody, about loss. I mean, there's a lot of songs about loss, just because it's part of life. But I definitely like balance, and whenever I have like a heavier moment, I also like to balance it out with some other thing in the songs. I rarely feel like the songs are atonal in their emotional
Right.
weight. But it's also, a lot of times just the sound of it makes you feel not necessarily morose, but just sort of, down, tempo.
Yeah, or it just gets you.
Yeah.
Like it hits a certain.
Yeah.
I
I was
always say that.
re-listening to Flightless Bird, and it's just so lush and swirling and
And sad.
sad.
Yeah.
No, and
Totally.
sad. No.
Yeah.
But also, we're always looking for wedding songs.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know if you meant to do that, but and it has that sway. I mean,
Yeah.
I see why they used it for Twilight, totally.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
because it wasn't the wedding song either, right?
It was a prom? This
It
like
was
dance song.
it was like their first dance.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's a waltz, so
Yeah.
it has that dance thing. So the story is that Kristen Stewart, the record had just come out, and she was listening to it on her headphones or Walkman or whatever.
Whatever back then.
Yeah. And while they were blocking it out, where they're getting ready to do it, and she was listening to it, and she's like, I think maybe, she just pulled whoever was there, assistant director or whatever. It's like, maybe we could do it to this. This seems to be working. And so they blocked the whole scene with that waltz, just because she happened to be listening to it.
That's great.
It's crazy.
But there
And
is hard to find the songs
Yeah.
that you can also dance to. And
Yeah.
Like people aren't writing waltzes all the time. We need
No.
more of them,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have a lot of twihards, I guess is what
Totally.
they call
Oh,
them?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Vampire lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Or which team are you?
I don't know.
Edward, who was in the scene. I haven't seen it.
Edward.
So
I mean,
don't
that's
actually
your
know.
so spoiler.
What team are you on?
Yeah.
Probably Edward.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. Sorry, Taylor.
They should all just get along.
I know. It's true.
I'm on Team Life.
I like
There you
that.
go.
I like that, Sam.
Yeah, dude. Everybody,
Sam,
come on.
you're everybody's guru right now. I
Yeah,
love
just
it.
back up.
Yeah.
Vampire, you back up over there.
Yeah,
Werewolf, you
werewolves.
back up a little bit.
Yeah.
We can all get along.
That's right.
They're all going to be traipsing this planet for a very
Yeah.
long time.
There's
or-
enough blood for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's right. On that note, so what are some of your favorite sad songs?
Well, I mean, I think I just get in my head. I think about it too much. You know, I get in my head when I hear these kind of
Yeah.
questions. I'm like, dude, just say a song.
Right.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, well, is that one actually sad, or is that not really sad? I mean, it's definitely.
Right.
I mean, there's songs that are just intense because they're like about suicide, or or like something like. There's a song by this band called The Knife called "Still Light" that is the most devastating song that I know. And then there's songs like George Jones. He stopped loving her today,
Yes.
which is just
Devastating.
Yeah.
but it's also so corny that it kind of evens out. And it doesn't feel as sad as it could.
Right.
Everybody
that
loves
song
a
is
good
incre-
story song
I know
sometimes.
Yeah.
that's the thing. Country music is so rife with like
Yeah.
sad songs,
Yeah.
and the Irish folk
Mm-hmm.
tradition is so linked with like country music. They kind of share the same spirit animals of like loss and just just sad romantic saps. Just that always can't hold on to a lady. They just whine about it for the rest of their life.
That's right.
And we talk about sometimes a song is sad really only for you because it hit you in a particular moment or something. Do you have
Yeah.
one of those that you can't listen to maybe because of a heartbreak or other type of loss?
Oh wow, I hadn't thought about that. I can't think of
Soundtrack
one.
the first breakup or something.
Oh my God, man, you guys are digging deep.
We're asking the important
I
questions.
know,
Yeah.
I know. I definitely have a.
Yeah.
I can't think of one, but there's some. I mean, Barry Gibb's whole catalog is so like sad. Like he's made so
yeah.
many, but they're kind of like the country
Mm-hmm.
and Careless Whisper.
We
Oh,
love some Careless Whisper.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. On the
Saxophone.
performance.
Yeah. Alone Again, Naturally. You know what I'm
Who's
talking about?
that?
No.
Alone Again, Naturally. He actually talks about killing himself at the
This
end.
came up before.
Yeah.
Oh, Gilbert or Sullivan. Oh.
Alone Again,
I know the song. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Oh, that is a sad one.
Very sad. Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends. I don't have like a real, I don't know. That sounds non-committal, but
All good.
whatever.
No worries.
Are your daughters into sad songs?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell where they get music from nowadays. They don't
Right.
like listen. They listen to stuff so randomly. I mean, they're definitely the Hot 100 or whatever, like the big
Yeah.
stuff, which doesn't usually dwell on.
Mm-mm.
That's for partying.
What kind of music does your youngest daughter like? Because I feel like
That's
it's
the
different.
That's the thing. They're into so many random things. They're definitely into whatever the new Chapel Roan or
Yeah.
whatever. And then she's like into Mamas and Papas,
That's great.
just unsolicited, and also all these like random R&B things from the 50s, or it's just weird. They get music from so many different directions now. Some
Right.
they heard on like a 2-second TikTok thing. They're like, "What is that?" Beep, beep, beep. Oh, that's what it is, and they
Yeah.
listen.
All right. Yeah.
It's wild.
Although I do feel there was probably also a sense from our parents of where did they find that music or how did they listen to that, right? I mean, obviously there's the radio, but then like
Yeah.
your friends or your siblings might
Yeah, or your
introduce you to
friend's
something.
brother, like
That's the
Yeah.
thing. If they
Yeah.
knew my best friend's older sister, they would know all of her tapes and exactly where I got
Right.
the
Right.
music
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
would listen to.
Right. Totally.
Yeah. And was your best friend Ben Bridwell's brother?
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of them. We just
Okay.
listen to a lot of music. Yeah, for sure.
Was he like an annoying little brother or you were like, oh, you're a cool
No.
kid?
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ben. But I can't say that we hung out a whole lot. I mean, I definitely knew who he was, but it wasn't until right after college we all kind of lived in the same house for a minute.
Okay.
And that was in
and we would-
Seattle? Or
No, this was in Columbia,
okay.
South Carolina, and then Ben moved to Seattle and had a band, and
And didn't he send your music to Sub Pop,
he
and then
did.
you sent his music to Sub Pop or something?
Well, I didn't have to send them anything. They knew
Okay.
who he was, but
Okay.
I just took him on. I was like, you guys should definitely sign this. And but he had a band, and they were talking to Sub Pop about working with them. And he said, by the way, here's my buddy Sam's music. And they listened and they called me. It's
That's
like I
amazing.
wasn't even like looking for. I mean, my dad used to book bands for his like fraternity and stuff in the '60s, and he
Oh, wow.
brought him like a bunch of R&B and stuff. So he had, he felt he had this insider knowledge on the way to music business work, and he told me like, never go into the music business because it's all written by thieves. And I was like, okay, Dad, okay, I won't.
Yeah.
Going to
my
school,
little
getting
my
arts
kid
and
brain,
film
yeah.
scene.
Yeah,
you're
So
like,
I was
"Yeah,
always, I never really thought about music as like a really something to do. And then they called me, and I was like, well,
All right.
I'm not going to pass it up.
Yeah.
Well, Ben said you were the coolest. Like he was awed by you. He was like, "Oh, that Sam, he's so cool."
Well, that's funny
I
because
think
I
he
thought
looked
the
up to
same
his
thing.
big brother and you.
I think
and was
there is
like,
like a big brother thing, but
Yeah.
I owe him, for being here. It's incredible,
Yeah.
and it's so fun to be able to make music. I think he's so talented. It's just like
agreed.
his voice like effortlessly communicates power and vulnerability at the same time, which is very rare.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's a great description of it, because he kept talking about how like untrained he is, and he would just like throw his voice at that high note and hope
Yeah.
that he hit it. And
He
stuff like
dives in,
that.
man.
Yeah.
He goes for it. It's
And I
incredible.
think that's what we respond to. It's just so different and it's unique and it's
Yeah.
uniquely his and your music is uniquely yours. And that's
yeah.
what people connect with.
I
Yeah.
think so. On a
Yeah.
good day. I hope
Don't make
so.
it all polished and,
Yeah. We get a little nostalgic, I think, for the 2000s music scene.
Oh, yeah.
What
Yeah.
was it like for you to be part of that? Like to be
Oh.
on the Garden State soundtrack and blow up and tour and just.
Oh, I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
It seems like a blur now. But at the time, I was living, a dream. It was like it was coming, it was happening. I was like, I didn't even know what I had been asking for.
Right.
I was just learning what it all actually was. But getting to do what I loved, I guess because I came from a fine arts, I went to art school and was sort of always the kid drawing, in his room. I always kind of just assumed that I was going to struggle.
Do you still feel like that?
I mean, I'm finally getting over it,
Okay,
because
good.
it's kind of, it's been working for a while. But I think I always just was so afraid of, just having to struggle, not do what I love, because I'm just kind of worthless at most other things. You know what I mean?
You sound very talented. You're
No. I mean, when I try other things, like an account, if I was trying to
Right.
be like something else that wasn't
Like a desk
something
job,
involved with the arts, whether it was songwriting or smearing paint around, I would be miserable, and so I was always afraid that at some point the other shoe was going to drop and I was going to have to go back to like finding a real job. But so that whole period to me was just sort of like, oh my God, this is happening. What is happening? And so I was determined to like work really hard so the other shoe never dropped.
Do you feel like you could ever stop, or you just kept going for all those years?
Yeah, I just kept going and going. But yeah, I feel like I'm still going. I mean, I
Totally.
don't not
And you're
worried
on your
about
8th
it.
album.
Not worried about it stopping, but I also, I just found this thing that I love to do, and so I feel really, really blessed and want to keep at it.
Yeah. And it sounds like maybe you would be writing anyway.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, getting fired from whatever job I was supposed to be doing.
What did your dad change his tune? Be like, okay, maybe the music industry can work
Yeah.
out for some
I haven't
people.
asked him, but he does come to the show sometimes.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, he loves music.
Who did he book?
Oh, he picked up Smokey Robinson from the airport. This was
Wow.
like the mid '60s, so
Yeah.
that was their music.
Yeah.
Platters. He saw all
Ooh.
kinds of people.
You just like call him
Only-
up somehow.
Yeah, that's how they do. Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like you do some bold things in college that you wouldn't necessarily
Yeah.
do when
Yeah.
you're older.
Yeah,
right?
think
Yeah,
about
you're
how.
like,
Yeah,
eh.
I don't know. Yeah,
That's awesome.
And that they like these people are like, this college kid wants me. Okay.
Yeah, they
Brave
totally
of them
would.
too.
How much?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I was one of the tour managers for I did a cappella in college, and we used to
Amazing.
like be like, we're going to go to California for a week. Like, let's book some schools to sing. And you just would cold call these schools and be like,
Yeah,
want to have an assembly we'll come sing at, but you got to pay us like
Totally.
$300 or whatever it
Totally.
was, whopping $300.
Did anyone
Wow.
do it?
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay.
it's like the Wild West.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Did you ever
Any-
do a cappella?
I mean, I do it. I never sang at all
Okay.
before. I never had a band. Never sang in front of people before having a record deal,
Wow.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like the most stupid story. You know, these us arty types. I never really got into songwriting until I got a hold of a 4-track.
Mhm.
You know, I like to make things. You know, I
Mhm.
like to polish them and then present them to
Mhm.
people when they were ready, which is the opposite of, you know, wanting to perform and just sort of do the thing
Right.
and just see what happens.
Yeah.
But when I got a hold of a 4-track recorder, it became making something, you know, making a song or developing a set of lyrics and chords became making something like making a painting or whatever I was working on.
Yeah.
And so that was my gateway.
So the first time you performed was you were already a signed artist?
Yeah. It's
That's
so
crazy.
stupid.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone.
Did you have stage fright? Like, how was
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was petrified.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, you have no idea how many sets of drawers I went through.
Oh my God. When did you start getting comfortable with that part?
Oh, what time is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got puppets tonight, marionettes
Yeah,
tonight
exactly.
that everyone will
No,
focus on.
it's got over the years, you know. Yeah, I mean, it took a while, but eventually, you know, you just play so many shows, and I was just afraid of messing up and looking
Right.
like an idiot. And so after you do that in front of thousands and thousands of people for decades on end, you actually realize no one's going to get hurt and you don't care.
Yeah. And I'm sure there are times you do mess up and you're like, let me start that
All the
over.
time.
And the crowd's like, whoa, you can do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's the most insane job. I don't know anyone else who goes to their job and gets more claps when they mess up.
Oh, yeah.
Than when
that's
they
so
don't.
true.
Right. Or maybe comedians, we all laugh when they break or something, right?
Yeah.
At like SNL
in a
or
sketch
something.
thing.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is
That's so
crazy.
awesome, though. Like, what does
It's
that feel
amazing.
like? Because not everybody
Incredible.
can experience it.
I just feel very lucky to
Yeah.
have landed in the spot. I'm just very appreciative.
Well, I think what they're probably responding to is there's an intimacy when you see
Yeah.
someone mess up. Like, you feel like your fans would probably love to be in the room with you when you're writing a song, right? When you're fumbling to find those right words and
They
stuff.
think they would.
Yeah. But like, so that tiny mess up in a show or having to start
Yeah.
over a song, like that's the closest
Totally.
they're going to get to that.
Mhm.
Totally. Yeah,
Mhm.
totally. It's wild.
Well, Sam, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having
Yeah.
me.
Had
a
It's
great
a real
time.
treat. It's a
So
real
great to
treat.
chat with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Thank
you.
you.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you for joining us today on Sad Song Queens, because you always need a good cry. We will link these songs on our show page as well as our Spotify playlist. Please also be sure to comment, like, and subscribe wherever you find podcasts.
Huge thanks to Sam Beam, our friends at Overcoat Management, Howard Grayles, Sub Pop Records, Warren Hastings, Alex Cartwright, Warner Chappell Music Publishing, and Alex Curiel. Thank you to Rob Seals for engineering our episode and the Songwriting School of Los Angeles for letting us record live at Enterprise Studios.
Special production thanks Jessica Griffin, Avery Piantadosi, Jordan Lindsay, and our producer, May Rogers.
Our theme song is All My Favorite Songs by Weezer, and our outro music is by Wyatt Rouse.